Welcome to my escape. This week I'm going to do a book haul video because I went and I bought 28 books at one time. So we're gonna unpack them all here and we're just gonna go in the order that they're gonna go on my shelves. So editing Katie jumping in here. I forgot to mention that this is a used book haul, so hence why I got 28 of them, because someone was selling their entire shelf and I couldn't pass up the opportunity. So all the books in this video are used, so I got an incredible price on them because no, I do not have the funds to walk in to like Chapters and buy 28 books off the shelf. Don't forget to like and subscribe below, ring that bell for notifications. Definitely leave me a comment of which books I should read first because I don't even know where to start with these. Getting into it, I have the second two books in the Night World trilogy. So I read the first one a long time ago, and although I really liked the concept, I didn't love the writing, and they're pretty big books, so pretty expensive at the store comparatively, so I never picked up the rest of the series, but I always kind of wanted to read it, and it's kind of lived in the back of my head. So when I saw these for the price they were being offered, I was like, yes, absolutely yes. They follow a world where witches, werewolves, vampires, and I believe angels all lived in the same world, but they're kind of hidden from the rest of society, hidden from humans. And then each of these is like a romance love story of fated mates, like it's the soulmate trope. So I'm excited to get into these. The next one on the list is Demon Glass. It's the second book in the Hex Hall series. I haven't read the first one. I know, why would I buy the second? This was definitely an instance of the more books I added to my list, the more I added to the list. But I have a hold on the first one at the library because it definitely gives like Wednesday vibes from the Wednesday Addams TV show. So I just finished that when I was like looking at these books. So I put a hold on this one. This one follows a girl who lives in the real world but has like powers of some sort. And they kind of get out of control, so her parents send her to a reform school for other like wayward magical creatures of some sort. So it's that boarding school vibe and everyone has powers and there's cliques and everything, so definitely the Wednesday vibe. Next one is this, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I will butcher it, so I'm just gonna call them Reapers because it's the same vibe. But this is a really popular series and I've seen it praised heavily. I'm really excited to get into this one. It's also just pretty, and also these are all used books, but like look at the quality, like flawless edges. I love these books. I'm obsessed. But yes, this is the first in a trilogy, and it follows a guy and a girl who are apprenticed essentially as reapers, and their struggles, and they don't really want to be these reapers, but they're needed in society. So it's just them kind of coming to terms with that, I think, and possibly overthrowing the system because it is a trilogy, so I feel like that's just the way things go. Etiquette and espionage. It's a girl gets sent to a finishing school, so it's kind of like historical-ish, but like girl gets sent to a finishing school and they learn espionage instead of like how to sit properly and eat with your mouth closed, you know? So I'm really excited for that. I don't really tend to go towards historical books because I don't love women's lives in them. I like my rights. But this is definitely the kind that would be fun because you'd have corsets, but then you'd also have like she's holding a pair of scissors like it's a dagger. So we're here for it. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be silly, it's probably like way too young for me, but I'm pumped to read this. Way more excited than a lot of other books on this list, which is weird, but we read what makes it happen. Okay, this next one I'm also really excited about. It's Realmbreaker. So I have seen this a couple times on Bookstagram, and I have seen it in the store so many times, but I've only ever seen it in hardback, and I couldn't afford it. So the fact that this is even out in paperback, shocking, shocking. Also look at the quality, okay? Flawless edging, flawless everything. There's like art on the inside. Love it, I love it. I love used books. But yes, this is the classic fantasy setup. So I believe it is a YA, but again, it's like a girl grew up in like a small town, farm town, something way, way far from the kingdom. And then one day people knock on the door and they're like, you're who we've been looking for. You're like the last of this bloodline or something. You have to come save the world from this grown man raising an army. Let's get this teenage girl to come solve our problems. And you know what? I live for that every single time because frankly, yes, that makes sense to me. The math adds up. So it's like her and a group of random, by the sounds of it, criminals saving the world. And we're here for it every time. I'm also really excited for these ones, as I should be, because I did purposely buy all these books, so I should be excited for all of them, but I feel like the first half of this list I'm more excited for than the second half. These next two is a series, the first and second, by Kelly Armstrong. I love Kelly Armstrong's Darkest Power series. Like, I live for those books, and I don't know why. But I tried to pick up her adult series that was like werewolf, and it starts with the Bitten book. So I got a couple of those from a garage sale because I was that convinced that I was gonna get through this whole series, and then it opened on like a sex scene, and I was a child, and I was like, what am I reading? Get me out of here. So didn't continue with that series and ended up getting rid of all the books. So now I'm like, I would pick that up, you know, but I already got rid of the books, so we'll see. This one though is another YA series of her, fantasy, and the series is, I don't know what the series is called, but the first one is Sea of Shadows. And again, great condition. But this follows two girls who essentially like trap and send back wayward souls, I guess, souls that don't want to cross over or something, but they only do it on an annual basis. And they do it together, and then they're separated, so they have to find each other, and these souls that aren't being sent back are now wreaking havoc, and monsters are rising, and they're on their way to like tell, I think, the Emperor in this one that something's going on. So they kind of have like a ragtag group with them as well, but A, they're just gorgeous, like beautiful covers, and B, I love Kelly Armstrong. So I'm so excited for this series. I'm so excited for this series. Every time I start one of these descriptions though, I go, I'm so excited for this book, and then in my mind I'm like, maybe I'll pick that up next. And at this point I'm on like 6 books that I'm gonna pick up next, and I already have my February reads laid out, although I am a mood reader, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, this next one I'm not as excited for, I gotta be honest. It's called Red Queen, but this one follows a girl who comes from poverty, and then so she's forced into the role of like a lost princess and betrothed to one of the king's sons, and then it's like a court game of like prince against prince, and obviously there'll be like a love story in here. Something about it just, I don't know. Should I be more excited for this one? Let me know in the comments down below, but I pretty much picked it up A, because it was so popular, and B, because this is the author's debut novel, and she's the one that then wrote Realmbreaker, so I kind of want to like follow her journey. I don't know if I'll read this before that one because I'm far more excited for that one. This one I am excited for, and that is Dorothy Must Die. I have seen this cover before, I've seen this title before, and I'm like, yes, I want to read that. Essentially, this is after Dorothy goes to Oz and everything, another girl gets swept up in a tornado and lands in Oz, and then she looks around and she's like, what is going on? We can't trust the good witches, we might be able to trust the wicked witches, and I've been recruited by the Order of the Wicked. So then it goes and it says, remove the Tin Woodman's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the Lion's courage. So I love that, because she's reversing everything Dorothy did, because Dorothy must die. And what a premise. What a premise. I am really excited for this one because how random, and also yes, and also I love fairy tale retellings. I love them. Okay, so the next two you are 98% gonna be familiar with, and that is the first two in the Six of Crows series. So if you don't know, these two follow a group of essentially like thieves and heistmen trying to pull off the greatest heist of all time. Steal a princess-ish. She's not a princess, but steal an important person. Picked it up actually because A, it was hard to walk away from a deal like this, and I do enjoy the premise, so I'm trying to get Shadow and Bone out of my head, but I don't think I'll be picking these up soon. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a lot more excited for some of the other books on the list, but I will get to this eventually. The next three are from the Halo trilogy, and yes, 2 are paperback and 1 is a hardcover, and I don't love that, but again, the pricing on this was unbelievable, so I could not walk away from them. So this follows 3 angels that come down to Earth to curb the darkness, whatever that's happening. So they have to blend into human society, except the one starts to fall in love with a human, and that is forbidden or banned. So then it's the other 2 trying to stop it, and then I assume heavenly forces are going to get involved as well. So it's just kind of that like forbidden love YA angsty fun time is what I'm expecting with this. I read a lot of dark romance last year, and sometimes you just need something to remove you from that toxic environment. You know, like I love dark romance, but sometimes you need something light to fall back on after, just to try to level myself out and make sure I'm okay. You know, they're gonna be my check-in books every now and again. The next 3 books are another trilogy that I had never heard of before seeing it on that shelf, but it is the Razorland trilogy, and again, 2 paperback, 1 hardcover. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to learn to live with it. But I am really excited for this trilogy, so I'm just gonna hold the first book because it's heavy. So this is a like dystopian, not even dystopian, I would say like a post-apocalyptic series, and I have not read one of those in so long. This is a society, they live in like what they kind of call like the Dead City, I believe, but it's very much like they don't even get names until they're 15 years old, and there's 3 types of people you could be, and this girl's always wanted to be a huntress, so she's training for that. She gets exiled because they don't like her ideas and they don't like what she's saying about what she's seen outside the walls. So now her and her partner, like I think just like her hunting partner, but we know a romance is gonna develop, are now exiled, and they have to like maneuver this world full of these monsters and these horrendous beasts, and I am excited. I'm excited. I'm so excited I bought all 3, but again, I'm like, oh, maybe this one is the one I'll start next. I don't know what I'm gonna start next. So this next one I'm really excited about too. So it's Grave Mercy. This one's not in great condition. It does have a tear up here, but the person I bought these from threw this one in for free because I bought so many others, and she's like, you know what? That's not even a good condition book. I'll just throw it on the top. And I'm like, literally, bless you. I might love this person. But it sounds so interesting, and again, I had never heard of it before. Now that I've bought it, I see it on some like other like used book sites and stuff like that, but I'd never picked it out from a crowd. But again, it sounds so good. So anything with the personification of death in it, I'm here for. So there's like death as a god kind of thing, and she works as a handmaiden under him, and she gets trained in this like nunnery to be an assassin warrior person, you know, my favorite type. And then she gets sent on assignment, and she has to infiltrate this other kingdom and then kill this guy for death. Yes. Okay, I'm here. Never heard of it before, but this is why we love huge book sales, because you just get exposed to a lot of books you wouldn't have picked up otherwise. Next 4 are the complete series of Hush Hush. Why I picked these up, you might ask? Great question. I know they are at every single middle school, high school library, probably in the country, and I had always seen them, but I really did not get into romance until this past year, so I never picked them up because they seem so angsty. But now I'm like, I'm kind of here for it, and I also want to be able to relate to all the people that read this series like in their youth. So I got all 4. It's fine. It's fine. I got a little aggressive on the book haul, but it's fine. So by the sounds of it, this follows a girl in high school, and she starts falling in love for like the bad boy, who I assume is a fallen angel. But there's also the potential that he hasn't fallen yet, and he's going to fall because of her. And the series just follows their like angsty forbidden love. So definitely giving kind of like Halo vibes, like the other series I talked about. And I'm going to use it for the same purpose of just kind of a palate cleanser when stuff gets a little too dark, or, you know, a little too something and I just need some angst. Some probably clean angst because it's YA, so when I just need some clean angst, I'm gonna pick up one of my 2 Angel series. And I am excited about it. I don't know, it's just, I feel like I missed out now. Looking back, I feel like I missed out on this in my youth, so I'm gonna correct it. Okay, this next book is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth, and you can say whatever you want to about Divergent. Oh, it wrecked YA, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I loved Divergent. Still one of my favorite YA novels of all time. Is it basic? Yes. Do I still love it? Yes. So this is her new series, and it follows a girl that's like the sister or the hand of the king, and she has a gift that can torture people, so that's being exploited. And then it follows a guy who comes from, again, like that small village unrelated to the kingdom, you know, like I'm not a part of this world type of thing. And he has a gift, I believe he's an oracle. So then him and his brother get kidnapped and kind of get like thrust into her world of like politics, court intrigue, and the kingdom, and, you know, all these like bigger themes. And then it's them either like, Are they gonna help save each other and like their kingdoms, or are they gonna be like the death of each other? So I'm here for it solely because of her. I bought this solely because of her. And you can hate on Divergent all you want, but for me, Veronica Roth is a yes. Okay, these next two are Now I Rise and Bright We Burn by Kiersten White. Yes, they are the second and third in the trilogy. No, I have not read the first one yet. But I mean, they're in really good condition. And they're gorgeous covers, and it does sound really, really interesting. So this series is set in the Ottoman Empire, and I love history, so when they bring in like actual aspects of history, I die. It's set in the Ottoman Empire, and it follows a girl, her brother, and then this other guy. So the girl and her brother they're royalty themselves, and then they get kidnapped by the Ottomans. She is like a violent princess, and I'm all here for violent princesses. That's kind of what I live for. And then they kind of form a relationship or like an alliance with the Sultan's son. So he's like essentially like the crown prince, you would say, of the Ottomans. So it's like that kind of enemies to lovers thing, but it's also like the brother doesn't have the same goals as the sister by the sounds of it. And I'm all for that. I can't stand love triangles. But having two forces pull you in opposite directions, one being like a love interest and one being like a family like brother, is definitely going to offer a dynamic that I am very interested in seeing played out, because then that becomes a thing of like, what are you going to follow? Like, how far does your like familial loyalty go? And I'm really interested to get into this series. I just have to now find the first book somewhere. My last two books I got on this book haul are the first two of the Diabolic trilogy. I would have bought the third, but they didn't have it. So it is what it is. But again, gorgeous. Like, gorgeous. So this trilogy sounds actually really cool. This is more of like a sci-fi story. The main character is created and she serves one purpose, and it's to protect the person she's been created for. And in her case, it's like the daughter of someone on the Galactic Senate. And that daughter basically gets kidnapped, but the main character knows it's happening in advance. So anyways, the main character fills in and pretends to be this daughter of the Galactic Senate. So now she's pulled into court, and she has all these skills to like she's created to kill. So she's got some murderous tendencies to her, and now she's playing princess at court, essentially. And I live for that. I love political intrigue, so I'm hoping because they are like at Senate and at court, we will get a lot of that political intrigue. And I also love sci-fi, and this is YA sci-fi, and that's kind of my bag right now. So I am pumped to get into these two. Again, this is a series I did not know existed until this book haul, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't feel like that will be happening in February because I already am reading a lot of sci-fi in February, so I might save that for like a March thing. Thanks for sticking around. That concludes my 28 book haul. Let me know down in the comments what you think I should pick up first, or what you think was an actually absolutely terrible thing to pick up. Because I'm sure I'll have some flops in here, but for the most part, I'm very excited. And I cannot decide for the life of me what I'm going to pick up first. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button down below. I post every Tuesday and Friday, so I will see you all in a couple days. Bye!